This is basically kind of the beginning of what I'm going to make. This is for the Taurus PT709. I've made this one and I've carried it. I sent one out to be evaluated and never heard back. I know I'll hear back on this one. This one's going out to get evaluated too, but I know I'll hear back. And that's one of those things that I'm glad to know. But I kind of held this in here and it's almost exactly what I'm looking for. So, a few modifications from it is all I'm going to need to do. A little departure, because there's going to be a few things different. So I need that line right there and that line right there. I went ahead and I drew a T here. A bottom line and then a center line. And that's basically what I'm going to start with. The sweat shield is going to be different, of course, because the gun is different. But I think I want to kind of rough this out, because why not cheat a little bit? And it's not cheating. I designed the holster in the first place. Why reinvent the wheel, as I like to say. A lot of guys will start from the center and then they'll just kind of lay it down, which is fine. You got to remember, you have to account for the thickness of the leather. So if I'm drawing the gun in here, let's say I'm using that line, and I want to use the account for thickness, I'm going to move over about another 1/8 of an inch. And that will be more of the line that I'm looking for. I'm going to rotate this. I got to find out where the magazine release is. And I want to make sure that the holster is going to clear that. And currently it does not. And if I set this back in here the way it was and draw the bottom of the grip frame, I want to make sure there's enough room in where this part is that you can get your hand in there. Which there should be. Take away the thickness of the pencil. Let's do a little refining. We don't need this piece because that's for a belt slot. Now this portion beyond the stitch line is what is going to kind of flex that against your belt, is going to push that against your body. So I'm going to extend that a little bit. But just on the top part. Now what I'm going to do is redraw my line here. And I'm going to take my knife, but I'm going to use the back side of the blade and just score this. And what that'll do is not remove any material, but it'll make it easier to fold. And now I can go ahead and cut away everything on this side. I went up to here, and what I need to consider is how that's going to go when you go to reach for the gun. And I think right where I'm at there, I'm thinking that's maybe what it's going to go like. And we can kind of lay the gun in there, get an idea, a rough, very rough idea, of course, of what it's going to look like. And there will be a clip right here. And as to, you know, and now that I've got it cut out, I can see that this isn't going to be enough room here. But I do clear the mag release. But I do have to clear more out here. And that's one of those things that you just gotta, you kind of fidget with it a little bit. And you gotta play with it and just figure out, you know, how much room do you need? Do I have to make room for my fat fingers to fit in there? Now that's plenty of room for my big fingers to fit in there. So I think we're pretty good. I do think I want this to come out farther though. So what we'll do then is I'll refine this bottom edge, and then I'll go over to my copy and I'll bring this over, because I'm pushed in right now as far as it'll go. But when I get it into actual leather, the gun's going to get pushed back farther. So I want this to come back probably another ½ an inch, at least on this side, ½ an inch on one side, and probably another ¼ of an inch back here. But I'll still miss the mag release. So, and usually I like a little extra room here, just for the fact that I can get hold of everything. See how I'm holding that there, and I can get a good grasp on it. So I may not give anything in the back, maybe just a little bit, an eighth or so. But on this side, I'm probably going to try to cover that. But I'll refine this curve here a little. That little that I added here is going to give me a little more room to put that clip too. So I think we're going to go with that. That's what we're going to do. Now, there we go. I think we've got it. Now, one of the things, I think I covered this in another video, but one of the things that I can do now that I've got my pattern cut is I can go along, and to save myself a lot of hassle, you can go along and you can match the edges. Now, as I'm looking at this, I don't like this too much. It's too big, or it's too tight a radius. And I don't like it. So I want to increase, I want to make it a bigger radius. It didn't change much, but I'm a little more comfortable with that. So it's a little bit bigger. Now you can certainly cut these out with a scissors as well. You don't have to use a craft knife or anything, because this stuff cuts pretty good with the scissors too. I don't cut well with the scissors. I flunked out of kindergarten cutting with the scissors. I think that needs just a little more refinement there. Not much, just a little. Alrighty, I'm going to look in my scrap bin and see if I maybe have a piece big enough for that. And then we'll cut it out. I'll be back.